On the road again. Folks, we are on our way to go look at another pond for an update. You all have certainly been asking and messaging and commenting, Brian, we want to see some footage of the ponds that you've been working on after they're filled. Well, you are in luck today because that's exactly what we're doing. We have been getting quite a bit of rain, and actually the rain that we got last night pretty much put me out of the job today. And so I've reached out to some landowners and asking if I could go visit their ponds that we constructed or rehabbed. And I've got one guy that says, hey, come on out. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. We're on the interstate right now, heading down the road. Going to look at this pond. So I'll tell you a little bit about it because the landowner's actually going to meet us there and taking us out there in a gator. So I don't know how much I'm going to tell you about the story behind this pond, why we are headed out to the pond site. So I thought I'd just do it right now. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. I'm Brian, the land guy, and I build ponds, rehab ponds, work on land, improve land, just anything that I can do to make land better. That's where my passion is. That's what I love to do. And I get the wonderful opportunity to be able to provide for my family by doing that. So anyway, yes, this landowner reached out to me probably sometime back after the first of the year. He saw me doing some advertising on Facebook and reached out to me and said, Brian, he said, I'd like to try to find someone to build me a pond. And I said, well, you contacted the right guy. And I said, tell me a little about what you're looking for, what you're wanting. And he said, I'd like to have about a half-acre size pond. He says, I have 40 acres, already have one pond on it. He said, I'd like to add another one in the back pasture. I can certainly see the need for that. I said, well, for half-acre size, I said, depending on the depth, I gave him kind of an idea of how I charge by the cubic yard of material excavated. And he said, well, I think we can probably work around that. And I said, okay. I said, I just kind of want to cover my bases so I don't want to tie up your time and my time and going and looking at something if it's not going to be within your budget. But anyway, after he agreed that could be something he can work with, we scheduled a site visit, went out and looked at the pond area, and decided that it was a pretty good location. He had lots of watershed to be able to feed this area where he was wanting a pond. And I told him, I said, the next step would be to dig some test holes. And he was like, well, you know, my other pond holds water just fine. And I agreed. I said, yeah. I said, you're correct. But I said, soil can change from one field to the other. So he agreed. We dug some test holes. I actually got a video on me digging the test holes. In fact, I'll throw it up on the screen if you'd like to go back and watch that. But we went out, found really, really good clay, but we did run into some hard pan rock, ledge rock, down around the 5-foot range. And we were wanting to try to get this pond around 8 foot deep. But due to the rock in that area, that's where he was wanting the pond, and we had the watershed there, but we wasn't able to make the pond as deep as what we were hoping for. But the way this pond is laid out, we didn't need all the material that we excavated to build a pond dam. So I built the pond dam, and the extra clay and dirt that I had left, I stacked it on the side. And the landowner is super happy. He said, I want to use this material for other stuff. So when we get out there, you see the piles of dirt. That's what it's from. It's left over from the pond job. And he was really happy to be able to have some topsoil there and also some kind of a rocky material that we was not able to use in the pond construction site. But we saved all that clay. And what we ended up doing was we ended up lining the bottom of that pond over all those big, huge rocks that we exposed, and been letting that set on. He said the cattle's been out there running, stomping around. I mean, we did track it all in really good. But he told me this morning, he said, Brian, he said, my pond is full after these recent rains. I talked to him a couple months ago, and he said, we need more rain. And I said, well, I agree. I said, I'll catch up with you later. He said now he's in good shape. He said, come on out, I'll take you and show you. So that's where we're headed right now, folks. So hang tight. I think I'm done talking for now. Let's get out there and take a look at this pond. All right, I think we are here. This is a pretty good sized farming community, and it's got beautiful out here. So yeah, it looks like he's already got the gator out, and we're going to jump on that thing and go for a spin. As we're driving out across the field, this pond that you see here on the right-hand side is the one that he currently already had. But we had to drive by it to get back to the new pond build site. We were driving out across the back pasture here, and I began to see those dirt piles, and I was getting pretty excited about that time. We were trying to talk about just life and cows, but my focus was upon that body of water as soon as we came over that horizon. And when I saw that pond, I was really excited. Man, this looks really, really good. It's kind of tickling to come out here and see a project such as this that's doing really good. Now, if you watched the previous video of me building this, it was a 4-step process, and I'll throw it up on the screen, that way you guys can watch that video if you want. But if you remember, this area here had walnut trees in there, and that was why we didn't build the pond any further that direction. We actually probably could have if the walnut trees weren't there, but he wanted to harvest those trees, and of course there's still the stumps that's in there. But he was talking about how this is his neighbor's fence line here, and water is coming into here. In fact, we'll walk over there and you can see how that grass is laying down. It's coming in here really good. Look at the amount of water that has come down through here. There's lots of watershed in here for this pond, and like I said, this is about a 1/2 acre in size. Want to walk over here because he was saying that water is also coming into this area. And he's got a skid steer, so what he ended up doing is we had this fill material that we could not use in the pond construction. So he been able to come in here, and I think he's been putting some of this fill in here, but look at the water that comes down through here off of that field, coming in here and exactly running into that pond. So yeah, I think it's looking really, really good. He said, you know, what we've been needing is good rain. And we got some pretty good rain. He was saying that his daughter lives not far from here, and they got 6 inches of rain. So yeah, 6 inches of rain can fill a pond up in a hurry. And the spillway is built over here. Now this is part of the dam, and the way this pond was, it was kind of in a low area, and we didn't want the pond dam super high. Just for the aesthetics reasons, and there was no reason to back that water up anymore, because then it would be backed up on the neighbor's place. And here's his other fence row, and his neighbor's on the other side. But here he put some material here to drive across to carry it to the other side. But you can see where this pond has come up, and a little bit of grass is laying down here. But that's looking really, really good. I know you guys have been watching my YouTube channel, and one of the things that y'all been saying is, hey Brian, we want to see the progress of those ponds once they get full. Well, here she is. It's actually turned out really good. Well, I want to thank you all for watching the channel, and make sure if you're not a subscriber to the channel, to subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next land video. Bye-bye.
He's on your side. The land guy. big or small, just give a try. Nobody beats